You from our new hospital here at Sea Turtle Lake. So you may notice we are not in the outdoor tent anymore. We are in the largest enclosed sea turtle hospital in the world, and we have our medical care team that is taking out our first patients that have gone through our new hospital and are going to be released today out in the bay. So we are going to be releasing 3 green sea turtle patients, and we have Kelly here who is going to introduce the first patient. So who do we have here?
We have Dopey.
Dopey. So why was Dopey brought here today?
Dopey was part of our second cold stun this winter, and we had 8 turtles that all stayed with us after that second cold stun. So they were all named after Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. So Dopey here had a little bit of a wound to the back of his shell. He does not have a back flipper either, but that was an already healed injury or a genetic deformity as well. But he is really ready to go back home. He is sassy.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Thank you, Kelly. So like she said, we did have 3 cold stun events this past year. So he came in with our second, and we see here Alyssa with our second patient. Who is this?
So here we have Bashful, and Bashful was also a part of that second cold stun.
All right, and I see that he has an abrasion here to his carapace or the shell on his back. Can you tell us what potentially happened there?
So we don't really know what caused this, so we just call it a blunt force injury. But as you can see, it has healed very, very well, which is one of the reasons why Bashful gets to go home today.
Oh, great. Yay. All right, bye. Bye, Bashful. So we are releasing 3 patients, but we still do have a full house here at the hospital. So if you guys haven't come out to meet our patients that we currently have here at our facility, make sure you guys come out and wish them luck. We do have one more patient that they're going to be taking out, and we're actually going to show you behind the scenes and how these tanks look from the other side of the area, so you guys can get a close-up look at that. All right, we're just going to walk around the corner here, and we're going to wait for the rest of our medical care to come from outside inside to get that last patient. As you did hear, they were cold stun sea turtle patients, which means that they went through a state of shock when the temperatures out on the bay side drop to 50 degrees or lower. Their heart rates will slow down so much that they'll stop swimming and they'll float up to the surface. Now, this basically makes them more exposed to being struck by boats or getting stuck at the jetties. As you can see there, we have Casey and Kelly taking out our third patient there. And you can see already that he is ready to go. All right, Kelly, our third patient. Who is this?
Here we have Amazing Day.
Amazing Day. Awesome. So why is he here?
Amazing Day also was part of that second cold stun. He was doing great. He passed his swim test, and then later that day he washed back up on the beach, actually the next morning. So the public found him. They got to name him. And he did have a little bit of a wound to his plastron, but he's also really ready to go.
Awesome. Is it common to see them wash up after a cold stun again like that?
It's very uncommon. So we usually do not get this. This is the only one that we've had this year. Usually we can tell during their swim test, or even if we are releasing them and they're not doing too well.
Great. Perfect. All right. So it looks like he is ready to go. So we are going to follow them out. They are loading up in one of our vehicles, and they are going to be heading out to the bay side. So let's just follow Kelly here while they get into that vehicle. And wish them luck. All right, so we actually have one of our educators out in our bay who is waiting for these patients to show up. So Taylor, can you hear me? How is it going over there?
Hey, Victoria, how are you?
Hey, Taylor, how's it going over there?
I'm great. It's a super nice day out here, or we could say it's an amazing day out here at the Bay Area, and I'm beyond excited to see these 3 turtles go back out into the wild.
Oh, awesome. Well, we have the medical care team just backing out right here from the parking lot, so they will be there with you shortly. And
Oh,
I
I'm so
do know this is
excited.
our first release going back into the Bay. Can you let everyone know why we release them in the Bay now in the season?
Of course. So we are officially in the spring weather, which means our Bay Area is going to be warmer, which means there is a very less likely chance that we're going to be having another cold stun event where we normally release our turtles right out into the Gulf on the other side of us here because that water is warmer during our winter seasons. But the Bay releases are probably one of my favorites.
Awesome. And well, I know that we are now in the month of April. So can you let everyone know the exciting news now starting in the month of April here?
Yes, it's my favorite season. It is officially nesting season. So we actually had our first patrol go out this morning at 7 a.m. It was one of our favorite volunteers, John Spreen. And it just is one of those exciting moments for all of us here on site, especially our conservation team.
Awesome. So have you placed your bet on when is the date that you are going to choose for when we spot the first nest?
I have, but if I'm being honest, I forget what date I said. I think it was April 24th. And then I think I also said that we're going to have 87 nests, but I'm not too sure if that was actually accurate. What about you?
I have not. I'm like trying to wait it out a little bit, but I think I'm going to choose April 18th. I don't know. I feel something about that date.
That's a solid date. I mean, I know that they've already had some nests down in northern Mexico, which means that they should be coming our way here shortly. I'm so excited.
Oh, yay. Okay, awesome. All right, Taylor. Well, our Jeep has already taken off, so they should be there in about 2 minutes, and I will pass it on to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Victoria. Have an amazing day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye. All right, everyone. Again, it is Taylor here with me, Taylor, at Sea Turtle Inc. We are in the Bay, as we just mentioned, but we have some more exciting news other than nesting season just starting today. So I'm sure behind me you can see that we have a handful of people that are in black shirts. These are going to be our summer interns this year, and they have officially arrived, and today was day one. How excited are you guys? It's like they know how to yell because I'm far away from them. We have a handful, so I know we have 2 in each department, which means we are going to have 2 in our education team, 2 in our conservation team, and 2 in our medical care team. And each one of them is going to contribute to our mission so much this season, as we are expecting it to be not only a very busy season with us in education, but also hopefully with our nesting team that's standing right next to them, as well as our medical care team who is currently en route as we do wait patiently for them. Speaking of nesting season again, what's super exciting is if you sign up to be a member with us at Sea Turtle Inc., not only do you get to come into the facility free of charge every single time that you guys come and visit us, no matter how many times that is for a full year straight, you also get to get exclusive text messages when all of us staff members here get them as well regarding our hatchling releases. So normally about 45 to 60 days after those eggs are laid, we see some hatching activity, and if they hatch out during a very certain time in the mornings, which is so great for us, you get to be invited to come and see us release them publicly right here on the island. They are probably the cutest turtles I have seen, as they are fairly small. Not only that are they small and cute, they are the most critically endangered species of sea turtles, as they are the Kemp's Ridley, and they have a super small nesting location compared to the other species that we see here in the Gulf. So highly suggest popping on over to our website, seaturtleinc.org, so that you are able to become a member with us as we continue to grow and save all of these sea turtles. Another super cool thing is our education team is hosting summer camp this year, and instead of just our 1-day camp, we'll be hosting 3-day camps, which is something that is new to us, as with our new hospital, we have a brand new classroom space that I am beyond excited to educate in, as it has been over 2 years of planning with everyone in our team here. So we are excited to be able to finally have more programmings on site. We'll be doing our best to continue to host programs like squid dissections and really getting underneath the shell, looking through microscopes at sea turtle scales, or scoots, that we receive from our team here. So definitely keep tabs on us on our Facebook, on our Instagram, on our website as we continue to post more educational programs and everything of this sense. But we are still currently waiting for our team. I see them currently right now behind me, so that means they're going to be unloading those turtles here in just a moment. Carlos, who is our producer, who is on the other line, if you can, think of some questions that we might have in the comments. I'd greatly appreciate that as I kind of explain one more time why we're here in the bay. So we are releasing 3 Atlantic green sea turtles. The green sea turtle actually gets their name because they eat so much green food, it turns their fat inside of them green, which I think is pretty comical because if we ate something that much, do you think it would do that to us? I'm not too sure. But we're releasing them in the Laguna Madre because it houses a majority of all of their favorite foods, the seagrass and algae. And as Victoria mentioned, it is going to be one of the common reasons why we see sea turtles cold stun as well as get stuck in the rocks at the end of the island. Super cool if you guys plan a vacation here and you happen to be on the island or over at Boca Chica Beach and you see a sea turtle stuck in the rocks, washed up on shore, struggling because of entanglement or anything of the sorts, or even nesting, you are able to call our stranding hotline. It is available 24/7, so we do not care if it's 10 a.m. or 2 a.m. We will not question what's happening at 2 a.m. at the beach. We just want to know what's going on with that turtle so that the proper team member can be sent out, and we can really make sure that we get that turtle into our care or we're able to protect those eggs. But Carlos, over in-house, do you guys have any questions for us?
Yes, I have a question. So basically, do you have any stories about Amazing Day or any of the patients that we have available right now that we're going to be releasing?
I'm not too sure. I believe I could ask our medical care director, Chris, if he has any funny stories about any of the 3 patients that we have here. So I'm sure everyone remembers Christopher. He is our medical care director, as I just said. Chris, do you have any stories about any of the patients, whether it was them splashing you guys or anything of the sorts?
Well, in terms of all 3 of the patients, they all came in during one of the cold stuns. So we have Amazing Day, Bashful, and Dopey. So Bashful and Dopey both got named. So we had a theme for one of the cold stuns that we based them off the 7 dwarves from Snow White. So Bashful and Dopey both came in during the cold stun. And then Amazing Day was actually, he came in during one of the cold stuns. Ended up getting released, but after a couple of days, washed back up on shore. We were able to identify that with the pit tag that we found when we first scanned Amazing Day when they came back in. So we were able to identify who they were. Overall, they definitely have their own individual personalities. Bashful's definitely been a little bit of a spicy turtle since they've been here. Dopey's been a big fan favorite. Missing one of the rear flippers, so something about when a turtle's missing a rear flipper that people get very excited about. But all three turtles are doing really well. We're excited to get them back out into the bay where they belong. So, but yeah, otherwise, nothing too crazy in terms of stories. Right now, we have 2 turtles in the hospital. Our biggest ones, Crispy and Nyla of the Sea.
They're super cool.
They're very, very cool, but they're very splashy. They like to
I've noticed that with our TVs that we have right there. They for sure make it a handful of the ways away across the floor there.
Definitely Nyla of the Sea. Nyla came in with a lot of entanglement, so a lot of fishing gear was wrapped around her front flipper. And it seems like she's trying to get back
at full use.
Trying to get back at full use and showing us, hey, I can use this flipper pretty well.
It was like 6 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, it was an enormous amount of weight that was holding that flipper down. So it's awesome to see that she's using it as well as she is at this point, and definitely giving us a splash here or there. So we're excited to eventually get her back out into the wild as well.
I love that. I would love to see Nyla go back out. She's been here forever, but I'm sure you guys are able to see right behind us here. Thank you, Chris. That we have a handful of our staff members coming up with our turtles. So all of these staff members have recently joined our team here as we have been able to open the hospital. We have Anita, Mark, and Kaylee. Each one of them plays a different role in our organization. So we are going to actually just take a second here and let the rest of the team come in. And we're going to start to ask some of them some questions. And I believe I can start with Mark. So Mark, I'm going to pop over right here.
Hey there.
Mark, who do you have with you today?
So this is Dopey.
I love Dopey. Do you love Dopey?
Absolutely love him.
So, Mark, what brought you to want to work at Sea Turtle Inc.?
Well, interest in conservation, truthfully. And this was just seemed like a good place to start. I've always lived here all my life, and I'd always been interested in Sea Turtle Inc. since I was a little kid. I would say thanks to Dad, I actually got to meet Isla once in life, but that was much time ago. But I'm really grateful to be here today.
We are so happy that you are here with us. So Mark is one of our cashiers. So if you guys walk in the front door, you're going to see this lovely man up front. We are waiting on one more team member to come up, but we can let Maria behind the camera here make sure she gets a good view of Dopey, as we're going to be letting Dopey go first here in just a couple of moments. All right, Carlos, what is my question, Carlos?
So someone is asking if you need to be certified to touch a turtle.
Yes, this is Dr. Bonka's favorite thing. So yes, you need to be under a permit to be able to work with sea turtles. So each and every single one of us, including our interns, goes onto the permit so that we're able to work with them, as they are an endangered species, which is why it's so important to call our stranding hotline when you find one, because you're not able to touch them out in the public by yourselves. You need to make sure you have the permission from us to be able to handle that turtle. So again, call our stranding hotline if you happen to come across one. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to introduce Kaylee, and we're going to get ready to release all of our turtles here. Kaylee is our marketing manager. So she just started here about 2 weeks ago, I think. Kaylee, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Is this your first time releasing a turtle?
Sure is.
But it's not your first time being at Sea Turtle Inc., right?
No, I grew up in Brownsville, so I came to Sea Turtle Inc. my whole life.
Did you ever see in the backyard or just in the house?
What do you mean?
Just in our hospital.
Oh, yes. Just in the...
So she saw the old hospital that we tore down back in 1999, or we built in 1999 and tore down about 2 years ago to make way for the hospital. But who are you releasing today?
Amazing day.
Okay, everyone, we're going to say have an amazing day first, I guess. So you can go ahead and release Amazing Day, Kaylee. So what we're going to be looking for here, as Maria shows you with the camera, is one, we're watching Amazing Day swim off and kind of explore its new area. But two, we're going to be looking for that goodbye breath. That goodbye breath is going to be when they pop up and they take one good breath of oxygen and then they swim away as fast as they possibly can. It looks like Amazing Day is going to take some time to do so. It is currently right near Christopher as they swim through the little waves. I don't believe we're going to go ahead and get that goodbye breath. So we're going to circle back to Mark and Dopey here. So you are able to say one last goodbye, then you're able to just release them right over here. Go right ahead. It looks like Dopey's also not going to give us that goodbye breath. They are all ready to go and took that big breath before we went ahead and released them. So now we're going to say hello to Anita. Anita, now you didn't just start here as an employee, did you?
I did not.
How'd you start?
I volunteered.
And did you love volunteering with us?
I did. It's
Okay.
an amazing experience.
I think I already know Anita's answer, but what was the best part about volunteering with us before you became a staff member?
Cold Stun 1 and 2, and then became staff, and it was Cold Stun 3.
So Anita was here for our first 2 cold stuns and was an absolute trooper. She spent hours with us here on site. She came in when staff came in, and she left when staff left. So she was a true helper, and we are beyond excited that you're part of our team, helping us with sales. So who do you have you're releasing?
I got Bashful.
I love Bashful. He's my favorite one, but don't tell the others. So Bashful is super cute, and I think Bashful's ready to go. What do you think?
All right, I think so.
All right, you go ahead. All right, let's see if Bashful is ready. Oh, Bashful came a little bit back towards us. Let's see. I think all of them are ready to go. Chris is currently playing hide and seek with the turtles because he's trying to avoid them as they continue to swim through. All right, everyone. So it looks like all 3 of our turtles are obviously back out into the wild, and they are not interested in showing us their goodbye breath. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to just say one last goodbye. We're going to say a happy nesting season to our conservation team. And a huge thank you to everyone that joined us today. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to pop them in the chat and we'll respond to you as quick as possible. But otherwise, have an amazing day, and we're going to go ahead and sign off.